All right, so I am returning to this channel. This is my comeback. I have privated the last two videos that used to be on here because they have been uploaded over a year ago, and I'm looking at this video as starting over and just giving this another try, and I will explain why. This is the backstory. This is where I'm at. This is how things are going for me. This is how I'm feeling now, okay? If you know, you know. It is the new year. It is 2026. We have just started this beautiful new year that for some reason, at least on my social media, everyone is very, very optimistic and excited about. And everyone just, they feel it in their bones that it's going to be a good year. It's convenient that that's kind of the discourse on how 2026 is going to be energetically, astrologically, whatever, because in my own personal life, in my own phase of life right now, I have just finished university. I've just finished school. In the last 4.5 years, I have done a bachelor's degree and I've done a master's degree. Both are now done, and it feels so freaking good. It feels amazing. I'm really proud. I worked hard. I've come a long way. And, you know, I finished in December. I finished a month ago. Not even a month ago, I was like doing my last assignment. And I have now moved. I'm now just kind of doing my thing. I don't have a job yet. It's just this very like new year, completely new environment coming out of a very prolific like era of my life. Obviously, university, there was a lot of self-discovery and a lot of learning about yourself when you have your independence and autonomy. And the person I was when I was a freshman in first year versus who I am now is radically different, and I wouldn't trade that for anything. Basically, where this is all going is that now that things are off to a new start, now that I kind of have this clean slate and can just kind of like build up a life that I love when I have this free time, something that I keep coming back to is creativity. Growing up my whole life, from a very young age, I have always loved the arts, because you know how people kind of separate like athletics and then arts. So for me, arts were the preferred camp. I did like sports were fun. I liked sports, but arts just spoke to me more and I got more fulfillment out of it. I acted in school plays, and then outside of school, I would do acting classes and acting camps. And then going into high school, I did a lot of high school theater, and then would do little like films here and there. Like I would, when my mom got her Mac, I would just play around in her iMovie and make little videos and sketches on it all the time. And in a way, I almost like self-taught myself video editing as a result of it. You know, after high school, like my brother's a filmmaker, so I got to take part in some filmmaking projects, and some other friends of mine do filmmaking, so I've been able to help out in their projects too. You know, I played piano for 9 years of my life. I have been a bedroom DJ for a year now. I did a lot of painting and drawing when I was younger. That I don't do so much, but I miss it and I want to return to it. Writing is a huge thing. Writing has kind of come later on in life, but I really enjoy screenwriting. I did a lot of comedy writing when I was an undergrad. I have written articles for film and TV, like about film and TV in recent months, and have been able to get like money off of it, which is great. I'm trying to like cross my fingers. There we go. And I've been able to like make money off of it a little bit, which has been awesome. And I guess all these experiences have just meant a lot to me and have really shaped my identity, which is probably why my bachelor's degree was in media studies, because I liked all of this stuff, but I didn't necessarily know where to take myself with it. So I went down the more kind of academic route and did a program that was kind of covering all the bases, but more sort of analyzing these mediums and their role in our society. And it wasn't necessarily so much on the actual creation of them. Admittedly, I was of the mindset when applying to university that, you know, the arts don't make you money. Being an artist is a very tough living. That kind of limiting belief and that very capitalistic belief as well, that this isn't like a lucrative, stable path to take. But then as I was going throughout undergrad, and as I got to take part in some film projects, and as I got to do some screenwriting, and as I got to sort of just brain dump about a random movie or TV show and get some money off of it, I just kind of realized how much creativity means to me and how much letting myself make art, engage with art means to me as well. So that now when it's a new year and there's not much to lose and I'm just this kind of random 20-something who has got a lot to learn and a long way to go, like don't have a job, unemployed, kind of on his own right now. I don't want to be scared and uncertain. I mean, I'm obviously uncertain, but I don't want to be anxious about the uncertainty. I want to just be like, okay, if creativity matters to me this much, I should do something to help build it up and get me on the right path forward. This is when I bring in the artist's way. I don't think this book needs an introduction. If you know, I guess. But long story short, many accomplished and successful artists today, in the past, have completed this, have done it. There's a lot about just unblocking yourself creatively. I mean, the sort of like subtitle is a spiritual path to higher creativity. So spiritual is a little like, what do you mean spiritual? Are you saying like Jesus is supposed to step in and save the day? No, no, like, and I mean, in the preliminary chapter that I've already read and taken notes on, no, but it is about some sort of belief in a higher power, higher entity that is sort of helping guide you, or, there is a creator, there is a reason that this is all here, we're all here, and no matter what theory you subscribe to as to how this all came to be, something created this. And so I think the idea is that as humans, we are now vessels for further creation. And I think it's about aligning ourselves with that kind of energy so that we can continue to evolve, grow the creation of matter, of life, of things. As pretentious as that may sound, this book I've heard so much about. The reason it looks a little old and worn is because my brother has done it, and this is actually a copy that my mom had from the 90s that she then gave to my brother, who is a filmmaker. He did it. He did the full 12 weeks. He loved it. He had a great time with it. And now that I'm in this phase, in this month, having these desires, I'm like, it's my time. It's time. So this little family heirloom is coming and being passed down to me, and I'm going to get started with it. I've done some preliminary reading, sort of like the chapter before the week 1 chapter that's talking about basic principles, basic things to understand. I guess some of like the non-negotiable daily tools you need to make sure you're being consistent and doing this successfully. Morning pages, 3-page brain dump. First thing in the morning, you just let your hand go. You just do not overthink whatsoever. No filtered writing. You just write. I like that. I'm into that. And then there's the artist date, which I also really love, the idea of, and I really want to take advantage of these. It's a block of time. So like she says, estimate like 2 hours that is set aside to nurture your creative conscious. She kind of creates this analogy where it's as if like you're a parent to a young child, and the artist date is essentially you spending quality time with your child, because a child wants attention from their parents. A child wants love from their parents. Your child wants you to take them to the park, but not so that they can like go on the swings and you're on your phone, so that you can like go on the swings with them. So you can spend time and undivided attention with them. That metaphor kind of translates into you. She's like, your artist, your creative self is like a child, and you need to nurture him. This is my trial run of parenting, I guess. I guess then my approach was I kind of brainstormed a list of things I want to do, and I was trying to think of it from the lens of like when I was a kid, when I was really young, and my parents took me out for things, or went on little outings with my parents. What did I love doing? Or what locations are really nostalgic to me? And just like what just kind of reminds me of what it felt like to be a kid. And I kind of made a list of different locations, parks, kind of like attractions within my hometown, things here and there that just really kind of ground me and bring me to that sense of self again, or that reminds me of my childhood self. Kind of tapping into some nostalgia, tapping into that kind of like childhood wonder and passion I guess I had for things, and hoping that by revisiting some of these locations that I don't really go to anymore, that I can just kind of be grounded, be present, and just really feel like I'm within my own company. Solo dating, essentially. Like when people talk about going on self dates, it's essentially that, which I think will be super fun. So I guess I'm just making this video because I haven't started yet, but I'm opening with this because I guess it's sort of like a first impressions, expectations, why I'm here, what the purpose and the objective is, and I guess what I'm excited about with the course. My intention is just once a week, do a little video diary, recap how the week went for me, what I learned, how I'm growing, how I'm like unblocking myself creatively, how I'm, how I'm doing, how I'm progressing. I think now that I have all this free time and I'm, going through the full-time job of applying to a full-time job, in my spare time, I really don't want to be like scrolling on social media or just like living other people's lives vicariously. I want to be able to be with myself more, be with my mind and my thoughts more, and be able to translate that into like greater, more creative, more consistent output. Right now, how I'm feeling, and I guess through my kind of self-discovery when I was in university and what I was kind of learning and understanding, was that if money was just an object, and in an ideal world, I could just finish school and then just be a full-time creative, do my projects, paint paintings, write scripts, act in things, make music, play the piano, DJ, whatever you want to say, whatever medium I've tried and have enjoyed in my life, I can just do that and just enjoy myself in my own company. But I realize that in a capitalistic society, that isn't really granted to you from the get-go or from the start, and it takes a time to kind of get yourself into that position. I know that those kinds of people are out there and those kinds of lives are lived. I just recognize that it takes time to get there. Say I come to the end of the 12 weeks and I think, you know what? I don't know if the artist life is for me. Let's go get that corporate job and let's just go climb the corporate ladder. See, QuickTime Player FaceTime Cam is in support of that, I guess. I guess that's just a possibility at the end of this, but I just love the idea of being able to have creative output that I see value in, that would add value to other people's lives, that can then offer me a stable and abundant life. I know that that takes time, and I've been in a very academic, school-oriented mindset recently, which doesn't always push artistry and creativity. And so I would like to use this as the kind of stepping stool to sort of get going and building the foundations for not having limiting self-beliefs or not overthinking my creative output and just letting my brain open itself up to any possibility and just letting the pen in my hand hit the paper and just go crazy and see what happens. I want to be open. I want to be explorative. I want to just see how I can show up and how I can be as an artist or as a creative if I let myself do it consistently and using the wisdom that Julia talks about in this book, the author, for context. I'm really looking forward to this process, and I'm looking forward to seeing how I grow and what I end up doing as a creative as a result of this. Until next week, I will check in and see how things are going. Okay, bye-bye.